Hey guys, like my new hat? As soon as I got home, my brother gave it to me because, now I'm Torontonian, something like that. Anyway, I am actually trying to learn baseball for a character it's important in a scene that this person really is into baseball. So anyway, that's why I have this cool little Blue Jays hat now. Anyway, and instead of wings now I have horns, so it all balances out in the end. Anyway, I thought I would do a quick little video about, let's see here, what shall we call it? All of the guffaws of Mr. Trudeau of late. Let's start, and I know like everybody's been talking about this, and Jerry from Canadian Poly put a really good piece because he found the rest of the video that shows what the volunteer of the sandbagging incident actually said to Trudeau, and it was pretty good. It was well worth it because again we see a prime minister who is so self-absorbed he doesn't realize that he's putting people and their property in jeopardy, or he just doesn't care. And I think it's a matter of he just doesn't care. He's all about the optics. He's all about looking good. And he keeps looking like a bigger and bigger fool the more he does things like this. To go to a place and be told, look, you're getting in the way and it's costing and potentially costing people their homes by you being here and bringing all of your security detail and what have you. And Trudeau's complaining about, oh, I've had to deal with security detail my whole life. Well, you know what? If you've dealt with them your whole life, then how hard would it be to say, okay, one of you guys can like keep your eye on the area and make sure that nothing's going on. The rest of you put your backs into it and help with these sandbags. Why on earth would you have a bunch of extra people there and not be putting them to work whenever you're supposedly bringing, having it so that more volunteers show up because you're there apparently and everybody wants to be around Trudeau? Well, okay, first of all, not everybody wants to be around you. Second of all, the people who are in the area that can go in and help are probably already there because they're trying to save their homes and their possibly even lives. They are trying to do whatever they can to secure the area so that they don't get flooded out. You're there holding people up, being a jackass, and just causing more problems than it's worth. And definitely, I mean, even if people were coming down to see you, what are they going to do as far as filling sandbags and actually going to work? Are you going to put them to work because you didn't put your security detail to work? But anyway, enough on that rant. Okay, so next, let's talk about his screwing up China for Japan. Not once, not twice. I believe it was 3 times in the course of 2 days. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better. And then today, or was it yesterday? I don't know. I just caught it today because I heard that Trudeau was going to be at the Toyota plant in Cambridge. I think it was actually yesterday, on Monday. And I'm sitting there going, okay, so how much did they get, or how much are they going to get for whatever it is that they're doing? And sure enough, they got, what was it, $10 million? No, was it $100 million? Something like that. It was in the millions anyway, to get no new jobs and to start building Lexuses in Canada, which, okay, great, wonderful, whatever. We're building more things. But there was a couple of things in that little speech that he made that was a little annoying. Okay, first of all, there's the guffaw, because he was calling it the Lexus RX instead of the Lexus NX. Apparently, R's and N's look the same to Trudeau. And then he had to get in that little slight against the West, where the real strength, and that's the key word, the real strength of the Canadian economy comes from the Ontario region and the manufacturing industry. So, there's no strength in oil and gas. There's no strength in farm. There's no strength in fisheries or in forestry or anything that any other province does. It's all about what Quebec and Ontario do. That's the only region that has any kind of strength in the economy or something. So apparently everything that Alberta does, all the billions of dollars that Alberta sends to the rest of the country, that's not the strength. It's whatever. I mean, it's not anymore because we really don't have an industry right now, or our industry has shrunk so significantly that it's really hard to continue to send those billions of dollars. But who cares? Yeah, it just keeps getting better and better. And then let's talk about Sunday night and The Simpsons. That was, I mean, it had been built up to be this really phenomenal episode, and I listened to a couple of guys called I think it's Two Average Dudes. The link will be in the description anyway. And they did a really nice little piece about it, and it was funny. There were some really cute things, and Newfoundlanders are upset because the term Newfie was used. Really? I have a lot of Newfie friends. They could give a crap about you calling them a Newfie. I don't understand this. And that whole commercial a few years back of the Newfoundlandese, it was some kind of a car commercial, which was hilarious, and my dad loved it because a lot of the slang is very similar to some of the slang that you'd hear in Ireland, so it was pretty funny for a lot of us. And of course, working with Newfies, you hear these kind of statements all the time, and it makes you smile. It warms your heart because they're wonderful people. They're funny. It's just heartfelt, wonderful people. So I'm shocked that so many were supposedly insulted by the whole Newfie comment, but whatever. Anyway, and then I'm going to end this on a very positive note because I was doing a happy dance earlier today, and I was doing a happy dance because not only was Jason Kenney sworn in as the new Premier of Alberta, but he sang the national anthem. And although his singing voice is, we'll call it mediocre, we'll be kind, it's not great, but he used the proper words. He did not bow down to the liberal manipulation of our national anthem. He sang "In All Thy Son's Command." I was so thrilled. My brother and I both stood waiting for the lines, and sure enough, there they were. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So once again, I'm quite happy with Jason Kenney. So if he keeps this up, I'm just waiting. He can do his happy dance. He can party for the next couple of days. But by Friday, I really want to see some action taken on the carbon tax and on whatever his plan is to do with BC and the pipelines and all of that garbage. I mean, how BC are blaming us on the high cost of gas is beyond me. And they're the ones that keep saying, we don't want your gas, we don't want your oil. But you're going to blame us because you're paying more at the pumps because you're shipping it from the US and anywhere else that you can get it besides Alberta. Well, I would say that's your cross to bear then. Quite frankly, you made the mess. You got to clean it up. You got to come make nice as far as I'm concerned. But, and I'm not saying that from a strictly Alberta perspective. I'm saying that from a common sense perspective. You have been, as a whole, very controversial, or not controversial, very, there's a lot of arrogance. There's a lot of vitriol. There's a lot of finger pointing and name calling. And there's an awful lot of hypocrisy. And if you just look at your own record for what happens in your province, where you're getting your oil from, how much oil and gas you actually are using there, and then you're going to point your finger at another province and say, you guys are the bad guys for everything that, ails the world. Come on, guys. Let's get it together here. And I mean, we should all be working together. This tit for tat fighting amongst provinces, it's got to stop at some point. And I mean, that goes not just for the Alberta and BC thing that's going on right now, that goes for Alberta and Quebec. It goes for Quebec and everywhere else, it seems. It goes for Ontario and the rest of Canada. Like, all of it. We've got to stop this. We're really a big family, and we need to start really working together. And the way that the world is going at the minute, we're going to really need each other. And we're going to have to start relying on each other and really putting our differences aside, finding the common ground, working together to make things better. We can do this. We are so resource rich in Canada, and we have such great people, great hardworking people that really want the best for our country. And the way to do the best is the only controversy here. For the most part, I would say most people I've met across the country, even around the world, everybody just wants the same things. They want to live peacefully. They want to have a good life. They don't want to hurt anybody else. They just want peace and quiet and a comfortable lifestyle. That's it. So if that's what we all want, why can't we seem to get there? Especially in a country like Canada, where we are the nice people. We're well known for being the nice people. So why can't we do this? And I mean, right now we have a prime minister who is doing everything in his power to create division in this country amongst the people. Instead of trying to sew everything together and it's not even a matter of appeasing everybody. It's a matter of working with everybody so that everyone gets the best across the country. Not just in one place, not just one group of people, but the whole country and everyone in it. We should be working on this together, and our politicians, our leaders, should be working to that end and bringing us all together, especially with the way that the world is working today. And of course, we have the canola issue as well, and a whole bunch of other issues that are happening with China. And I think that says the same thing. We really need to get our heads out of the sand and start really working on taking care of us first, because the whole idea of being what is it, they call it, a post-national country, that's no, it's not working, hasn't been working, historically has never worked, because there were attempts to do this way in the past and it didn't work. And the same thing is happening again, because you can only go so far with that, and then you've got to start really looking after your own country and what's happening in your own country. And it really disturbs me that Trudeau can always find hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, to send elsewhere in the world, but he can't fix our own country, and won't. And I think that's really a matter of what it is. It's not a matter of can't, it's a matter of won't. He has no interest in fixing what's broken in Canada. He's only interested in painting himself as this great guy, and unfortunately he keeps failing miserably at it. Anyway, so let's stick with the happy dance of Jason Kenney singing the proper national anthem, and just let's glow in that for a few hours, at least until, something else happens. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.